Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're looking at my baseboards. What I have done several years ago is I came in and I installed this nice 6-inch tall baseboard and I painted it, and over time it's had some wear and tear. I'm now in the process of remodeling the dining room and the kitchen, and I wanted to just put a fresh coat of paint on this baseboard, and then because I put down this new flooring a few days ago, I wanted to cover the gaps. So it's a perfect time to use some quarter round board to cover up the gaps and then also add a depth and nice dimension to this existing design on the 6-inch molding. So went to the box store, got some 1/4 inch round, 39 cents a foot, and brought home. So now, what's hard about that is that they sell the length of the 1/4 round in very long pieces. Most rooms you have in your house, like a living room or a kitchen, really don't exceed 12 feet. So I cut off 12 feet sections. I got about 5 of them. 60 feet in total, 39 cents a foot. Wasn't too bad. So I also got what they recommend for this particular board, which is 8D finishing nails, right, at 2.5 inch. This box was about $3 for, I guess, about, let's see what the number of nails is in this. It's a bunch. 166. It's not bad. I also picked up some liquid nails. Of course, got my hammer already. And I got some wood filler. What happens is, and what makes molding really attractive, is not only the fact that when you paint this, as you see I have my tape there, I used a white, semi-brilliant paint, which is basically one step down from gloss. Because most paint you put on the wall is somewhat flat in nature, by having a nice glossy finish on your baseboards, it really makes them pop, right? It makes the house look very new, and all it took was a little bit of paint. Now, installing a 1/4 round board can be challenging, but the trick is can we make the nails disappear once we set them in? And that's what this little tool comes into play. We're going to use this nail set by placing it on the nail and tapping it so the head of the nail goes beneath the 1/4 round surface. And then we simply go in with some wood filler and cover the hole up. Now, a little trick in what I've done is that this 1/4 round board, once I brought it home, before I even cut it, I went ahead and painted it outside all the boards that I brought home. Very quick, very easy. I just want to make sure you don't have a lot of paint dripping behind it, because it might affect how it adheres and sits against the baseboard that's existing there already. Once they dried, I made my cuts, brought them in, made my 45 degree cuts as needed, and now I've set a couple of holes or a couple of nails in already, but I wanted to show you the process. I pre-drill my holes. I don't have a fancy nail gun, and even with nail guns, there is a risk of splitting the board. The fact of the matter is even though they recommend it for the board, this 8D 2.5 inch nail is quite large to go through such a small board. I already have some time invested in this board. I've painted it, I've cut it, and of course I bought it. So to have a nice big crack happen midway through the install would definitely set it back some time and also some money. So I want to avoid doing that. By taking a drill bit a little bit thinner in diameter than the nail that I'm going to use, it will give me that reduced risk of splitting the board. So I'm going to zoom in for you guys, and I'm going to show you what I do from this point forward. Alright, so I'm going to take my drill bit, I place it about midway between the 2 points, that way I'm going through the thickest portion of the board. I hold my drill at about a 45 degree angle, and I start my hole. As I'm pulling the drill out, I brace it with my other hand, and I pull out. Now I'm ready for my nail. Place the nail in. Small taps. Now listen, this isn't framing, all right? I'm not going to take giant swings with this hammer. I'm I'm going to keep my hand still. I'm going to use my wrist to tap it in. Again, small little movements. Nothing too major. Now I felt the nail go through everything, and I'm going to feel it now. Catch the base, the bottom plate, and the wall. Oh, there it goes. When you hit that bottom plate, you read a really good pull. Now, I just want to tap. So I don't want to take my hammer and make a circle on this. So stop your hammering so you have maybe an 1/8 of an inch of the nail head out. Now I'm going to take this awesome tool. Now, in the nail itself, they designed them so there's a small little indentation that the tip of this nail set simply fits into. Take my hammer and tap it in. What's tricky is trying to avoid having the tip of this come off and start digging into your board, because that can definitely ruin your day. Now with the nail head, I'm checking with my finger to make sure it's beneath the top surface of the board. I'm now going to take some of the filler and just use my finger to somewhat smash this in. Now I will be going back through with a 180 grit sandpaper block to smooth this out. So it's always better to put a little more so my surface will be higher. There's nothing worse than having to go back through and put another coat of this on. Now this stuff gets very hard pretty quickly, in about an hour to be ready to set. So I apply it as I go. That way when I'm ready to sand and put my second coat of paint on, I'm good to go. Alright guys, so as you can see, this is the wood filler, wood putty that has been now hardened. And I'm going to take my little 180 grit sanding block and simply just take off the rough edges on that. Alright guys, so this is my final product. I finished putting down the quarter round, painting it, sealing it, and I just took the tape off. I'm very happy with the results. As you can see, for a non-professional, I'm pretty happy with what the final product is. I am going to come over and show you this little bit of a corner here. Now I do have a little bit of cleanup that I have to do on the floor, just a tad, as you can see there at the bottom. But that joint there came out very nice. That paint is just dry on that nail hole. But from the previous videos, you can see now along the baseboard, you cannot see any of the nail holes that were there before. And there you go, a little bit of paint there I got to clean up. I'm planning on taking a razor blade and just really lightly scraping. It's a latex paint and it comes very easy off of this this floor. So that's it guys. There's the previous product and there's the new. Again, before and after. Alright guys, thanks so much. Talk to you soon.